All right, I think it's well, it's time to start. I will start off today. Welcome everyone. Obviously, we are all living well in a nightmare at the moment. Everybody's grieving and very sad. But we did find it important to keep the class on and just share stories, share the thing Hanshi loved the most. Well, except for his family, obviously, but second thing he loved the most, and that is karate. I really want to thank everyone for being here to show respect to our Hanshi. We all loved him very, very much. I would just say before we start, I'll say a quick little word. Then I'll give words to Sensei Darren Stringer. After that, we will start off in Seiza, where we do a little over a minute of silence, and we would like to play the video which has been shared by the Russian Federation of Karate. I will share my screen with the rest of you, so we will be in Seiza, not with our eyes closed. Obviously, if you want to, feel free, but we won't do this in Moxo. We will hopefully see all of the beautiful pictures and a little video of Hanshi. And then we will try to bring an homage to him by doing things he loved during the session, during all the things he did and taught us. When I speak about myself about Hanshi is he meant so much to all of us, and I'm so glad that I had so many chances of training with him, meeting him, and being one of his students, one of his boys. Although I'm all the way from Holland, he always made you feel like you were his student, his product, and that's what he loved. There's many occasions where we can think about of how important he was and how much we loved him. But I think I want to point out that it was probably the most beautiful moment in my karate career when he was in our session 3 months ago and telling us how proud he was and seeing him enjoy a full session with us, although he was not really with us. And this is probably what's going to happen in the upcoming years, in the rest of our karate career. He will not be there anymore, but he will always be there in spirit. And I think there's only one thing we all can do, and that is doing what he loved so much and showing everybody what he made and how he did so, and just make him proud by doing what he showed us. Just a very big thank you to you, Hanshi. We will truly miss you. You've been very, very important to all of us, and we love you. I will now give words to Darren.
Yeah, so I don't want to use too much of your time, but I have a few minutes, and I will try my best to get through it. Yeah, I've reflected many times over the past week about the unfortunate test of time that we all must taste. In this particular case, it's the passing of the most influential figure in my personal life that could ever be, to the point where I'm not really able to accept the fact that the inevitable time has come. But this is a fact that I can not change no matter how much I wish it to. It came to me today, earlier on, whilst I was daydreaming about the days that were once yesterday, and my third Dan Kata came to my mind. It's not from my personal view of achievements, but in the form that I gave the name to my particular third Dan Kata, which was Kansai. Kansei is the Japanese definition and character for complete, completion, and perfection. At this time, when I was in my 20s, it was more that I strived for every element of karate. I wanted to be complete. I wanted to look for perfection, even though I never knew it would happen, of course. In hindsight, many years later, I believe that this was a vision, a premonition, notion for the future periods, or perhaps that I would come to notice it wasn't actually about myself, this kata, that it was allocated to, but to my teacher, my master, my father and friend, Hanshi Thursday. The idea of complete and perfection is very difficult, but let's look at this subjectively, shall we? Was Hanshi the most complete karateka that we've ever known? I would hazard to say yes. He was the first to complete the 100-man kumite after his master. From there, he developed a European organization, which became, in the future, a world organization, a syllabus, and he refined the techniques that we use today in what we now call the IFK. He graduated from coming through a full contact, rough style to adapt into a non-contact karate and later become the world's best coach and win the world tournament, the first to beat Japan. This aside, he's generated elite karatekas across the globe and in his own country, far too many to mention, and we've very little time to do that as well. He's produced champions in all areas of karateka, non-contact, kata, full contact. He's produced champions all over. His vision was simply to be the best at Kyokushin, not a select niche area. He has been able to adapt over the decades that have passed behind him to stay relevant and also remain on top. Then we go on to his other skill set, which I think many of us might argue is the more difficult elements. Hanshi had the unique ability to inspire, encourage, and the time. What do I mean by time? Hanshi always had time for everybody, a low grade, a champion, or a novice newbie. The exceptional ability that Hanshi was able to make you feel that not only following him was the way, but at the same time ensuring that you felt a special part of the world that you now belong to, which is Kyokushin. This is why my kata was a premonition for the future of what I already had. No, that's wrong. It's not what I had. It's what we had. This is why my teacher was the Kansei to all of us. He was without doubt the most complete and perfect element Kyokushin karate has ever had in my eyes. A level which now we all owe a debt to Hanshi to aspire to be. And this is the level he would want us to surpass, because that's what leaders and the Hanshis of the world want, to be surpassed by a legacy he has left for us. This may never happen, but we do owe it to him to try. Boss.
Well done. I would like to ask you now all to get in Seiza position. Hanshi knee. Right? I'm sorry.
Touch to the side, everybody.
Right then. Please stand up. Are you okay to start off, Darren?
You want me to start? Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Is that all right for you?
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Right.
Okay, we're going to start off with some static basics. I'm just going to start off with some 10 for you. We're going to do 20 of each technique. So I'll take the first 10. Wesley, you take the second 10. Back to me. So we've got Morotoski Jordan, Morotoski Judan, Gidan, Oiski Jordan, Oiski Judan, Gidan, Jordan Luke, Megan Bry, Hiza, and King Gary. 10, 20. When it comes back to me, it'll be a new count. Once we're done with the syllabus, move over to Wesley for the next lot. Okay? Furudachi. Sanshindachi. Hoi! Okay! Shia! Okay, Morotoski Jordan. Okay, right, ready? H! Ni! San! Shi! Go! Rock! H! H! Get! Chi! H! Shi! Go! Rock! Ish, ash, ku, aisha, h, ni, san, shi, ge, rak, ish, h, ke, chi, ish, ni, san, shi, go, rak, ish, ash, ku, aisha, h, ni, san, shi, ge, rak, ish, h, ke, chi, ish, ni, an, a, go, rak, ish, ash, ku, aisha, h, ni, san, shi, ge, rak, ish, h, ke, chi, ish, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, ish, ash, ku, shir, h, ni, san, shi, ge, rak, ish, h, ke, chi, ish, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, shish, ash, ku, shir, h, ni, san, shi, ge, rak, ish, ke, chi, ish, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, ish, ash, ku, here, h, ni, san, shi, ge, rak, ish, ke, chi, ish, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, ish, ash, ku, shir, h, ni, san, shi, ge, rak, ish, ke, chi, ish, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, ish, ash, ku, shir, h, ni, san, shi, ge, rak, ish, ke, chi, ish, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, ish, ash, ku, shir, h, ni, san, shi, ge, rak, ish, ke, chi, ish, ni, san, shi, go, ruk, shish, ash, ku, shir, here, Nari. Dry yourselves up. Get yourself a quick drink. Hopefully you're warming up, and we'll pass over to Wesley. obviously we didn't say at the beginning about any problems. Use the chat.
Right then, guys. If everybody's back, I'd like to do something I always love to do as well, which was 17 arm techniques. Let's do this in the traditional way, doing this alternate, doing this all on one right hand, doing this all on the left hand, and doing it again. Something I really remember of training with him. Yeah?
Awesome.
I will take the count on the first one. Take the count for the right to Darren. I'll take the left one. I'll bring the count back to Darren for the last alternate one. Time for a quick little drink to go back to Darren. Os. Both hands forward, medium tight. Bring your right hand back. Os.
Os.
Camera count. Every time is a new technique. Os.
Os.
Ready.
Os.
Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Ruk. Ish. Ash. Ku. Shi. Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Ruk. Shi. And now right back to Sanshin.
Os.
Okay.
Right hand only.
Os.
H. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Right. H. H. Head. G. H. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rek. H.
Here.
And back to Sanchez. Os.
Os. Left hand only. Os.
Os.
On the count. Ish. San. Shi. Go. Ruk. Ish. Ash. Ku. Ju.
Here.
Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Ruku. Shia.
Here.
Right.
Os. Alternate. Last one.
Os.
Start with the right hand first. H. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rek. H. H. Head. G. H. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Rek. H.
Here.
And back to Sanshin. And now we're in.
Os.
Os.
Let's have a quick little drink, guys.
Os.
Then we'll come back to Darren. Os.
Os.
Also, for at the end of the session, maybe there's a few things we forgot to say. If there's anything at the end of the session you'd like to say or share with us, think about it now. We do get some time in there at the end of the session.
It's not compulsory. It's totally optional, but you decide if you want to say your memories of Hanshi, etc. at the end of the session. So, yeah, as you said, that's optional.
Us.
Me, yeah?
Yeah, one thing I'd like to say about that, if you'd like to get a little moment to speak, please let us know in the chat so we can build in some extra time. We are with quite a big group today, which is perfect. But please let us know, because if we need to stop 10 minutes early so we have time for this, I think it's very important. Yeah?
Yeah. Awesome.
It's you now.
Okay. Right. So let's do exactly the same routine, but with the 21 kicks. Okay. So we've got alternate, myself. Right will be with Sensei Wes. left with baby back with myself. Finish off alternate with sensei flares. Okay, just a quick recap for those that don't know, the non-IFK bunch amongst us is Hiza, Mawashi, Kingeri, Mai Jordan, Mai Kiyage, Soto, Uchi, Yoko, Mawashi Gedan, Chudan, Jordan, Kinsetsu-geri Mai, Yoko Mai, Yoko Jordan, Yoko Mai, Ishiro, Gedan, Chudan, and Jordan, and we will come back to Yoidachi at the end each time. Appreciate we're not so warm, so do be careful on the kicks, but make sure they are correct as always. Okay, alternate, right, left, alternate. Look at that. Okay. Yoidachi, yoi! Gammon cover. Start with the right leg first. Ready? Ouch! Knee! San! Shi! Go! Rep! Ouch! Ouch! Get! Chi! Ouch! Knee! San! Shi! Go! Rep! Ouch! Ouch! Get! Chi! Ouch!
Yeah.
Here!
Gammon cover.
Os.
Right leg only. Os.
Os.
Take it easy on the count so we can make quality kicks. Os.
Os.
Ready. Ish. Knee. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Sish. Ash. Ku. Ju.
Here!
Knee. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Ish. Ash. Ku. Ju. Shia. Shia.
And the same on the left leg. Ready? Ouch! Knee! San! Shi! Go! Rek! Ouch! Ouch! Ke! Chi! Ouch! Knee! San! Shi! Go! Rek! Ouch! Ouch! Ke! Chi! Shia!
Yeah.
Shia!
All right. Gammon cover.
Os.
Last one, alternate. Os.
Os.
Starting off with the right leg. Os. Amaite.
Shia!
Ish. Knee. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Ish. Ash. Ku. Ju. Ish. Knee. San. Shi. Go. Rook. Ish. Ash. Ku. Ju. Shia.
Shia! And now ready.
Os.
Just have a quick little drink. And we'll be back over to Wesley for the next round, so to speak.
Os.
Hopefully everybody is understanding, because I appreciate that not everyone here is IFK, but everyone here is Kyokushin, and that's all that matters. But maybe the sequence throws you out a little bit, but hopefully you can pick up fairly quickly. Okay.
If you got yourself a quick little drink, over for the next one. We started off with a basic 10th Q syllabus to warm up. I'd like to go on with the basic sequence syllabus, but now go to the 9th Q. Yeah. In respect, there's only 7 techniques, but sometimes Hanshi made us work really hard in the easiest things. Us. So what we're gonna do We're going to make every technique 5 times. I will take the first 5. Garen will take the next 5. So that will be the next technique. Then the third technique, I will take the next 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, and so on until we hit 7. Os? For the people who, well, can't really remember or don't know the sequence, start off, yoi, open up, Sanshin Dachi, go, Saiken Ago Uchi, Gyakuski Jodan, Gyakuski Gedan, Gyakuski Gedan. Os, then Saiken Uchi Uke, Saiken Soto Uke, cover, Magiri Chudan, and back into the starting position. Os, os. Every technique 5 times, this means it's going to be alternate. Os. Os. So you can start off with the right hand for the technique. Os, which
os.
means the right hand for the first technique, left hand for the second.
Os.
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 Enough talk. Joy dashi joy. Sanshin dachi mi. Kamatse. Shia.
Yeah.
Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go.
H. Ni. San. Shi. Go.
Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go.
H. Ni. San. Shi. Go.
Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go.
H. Ni. San. Shi. Go.
Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Shia. One more time. Alternate by numbers in the full sequence. Os. Already opened. Are we ready?
Os.
There we go. Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Ruk. Ish. Shia. Now ready? Get yourself a quick drink.
Os.
Mr. Jared.
Os. Okay, so we're going to move on to 8th cue. I know it's a surprise, right there. But what we're going to do is we're going to use another version of what Hanshi like to use. I personally was never a big fan of this, mainly because I was maybe not fast enough. I just don't know. I enjoyed it, but it was never my favorite. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off on levels. So Hanshi always used to go and start off with 50%, go up to 60, 70, 80, 90, and then 100% of speed and power. Okay, we're not going to make you do 10 of them or loads of them like that. But what we are going to do is going to start off at 50, which would be a nice smooth routine. We're going to go to 70, 90, and then 100. Okay, so we're going to increase the speed and the intensity each time we do the syllabus. Now it is going to be Mogore. So I'm going to count Mogore. So on the 50%, it's going to be a nice, good, powerful structure. Think about your technique, your balance, your precision, power. Then as we start going on, the power may reduce, but none of the rest can. You have to keep the intensity, speed, and the accuracy of every single technique. Okay, so it will be 50, 70, 90, 100. Okay, 50, 70, 90, 100. He's the young one, so he gets the fast one. Okay, everybody understand?
Yes.
I'll run through it just in case those people either don't remember or are not IFK to know the structure. So we're going to be there in Sanshin Dachi. We're on 8th cue syllabus. So Tatsuki Jordan, Chudan, Gedan, Shtaski, break to the side, Jordan Junski, Chudan, Gedan, Moroto, Chudan Uchuke, Chudan Uchuke, Gedan Barai, right leg comes in for the Maigeri Jordan because the right leg goes out. Okay, 50 miles per hour, 70 miles per hour, 90 miles per hour, 100. Okay, right. Let's start off and just tidy my gi up. Never quite feels quite right this way around. It's the same gi, but the wrong way around. San Shindachi. Hey! Shia! Okay, 50 miles an hour, more gore all the way through. What I'll do is I'll ki this one to make sure that we're all kind of in the same rhythm. Ready? Hey! Us! 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 Shia!
All right then, guys. We now go to 70 miles per hour or 70%. Us.
Us.
We'll do the same. I'll make sure I'll ki or us every time I make a technique.
Us.
Us. Ready. Hajime. Us. 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 Shia.
And over to me for the 90 miles per hour. So don't forget, now we're getting to quite a fast speed. And she always didn't want to sacrifice on technique. So please don't do this. Drop the power by all means. The technique must remain as complete and perfect as we can. Okay? Again, I will do the kiais, although it will be quite fast. Ready? Hey! Us! 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 Shit!
All right then, guys. The final 100 miles per hour, 100%. Us. By your quality, rather have you to go a little bit slower, but still show good techniques. Is what we find very, very, very important. Us. 100 miles per hour. I'll go with the ki. Hopefully, you guys are not a lot faster than turning really old. Are we ready? Sure. 100 miles per hour. Hajime. Us, 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 us. Shit. Narrate. Us.
And get yourself a little drink. Heading over to Wesley next.
Us.
Us. Hopefully everyone's okay, everyone understands. Not new stuff, and it's definitely not our stuff today. It's all about the legacy that's left for us.
Us. Right then. So guys, we're off to 7th Q now. I'd like to go for a version of what we've done already with the 17 and 21 kicks. So go for an alternate version like we always used to do. Then I'd like to go for all right, all left, and then right, left again. So I will be making the first alternate on my count. We'll go for all right to Sensei Darren. I'll go for all left, and then we go all right for Sensei Darren again. Yeah, we're not going to play with the speeds right now. Please, again, think about the quality is what you find extremely important. Os?
Os.
Are we ready?
Os.
Joy. Tension that you need. Come on, say. Shia. There we go. On the count. Os.
Os.
Obviously with the right hand. And ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Ruk. Ish. Ash. Ku. Ju. Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Shia.
Now all with the right. Okay. Ouch! Ni! San! Shi! Go! Rank! Ouch! Ouch! Head! Chi! Ouch! Ni! San! Shi! Go! Shia!
All with the left hand. Os.
Os.
And left leg. Os. Ready.
Os.
Ish. Knee. Sun. Chi. Go. Rook. Ish. Ash. Crew. Jew. Ish. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Shit.
The last one, back to alternate. Ouch! Knee. Sun. She. Go. Rack. Ouch. Ouch. Cat. She. Ouch. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Shit. Nari.
Os.
Osh. Get yourself a little drink, of course.
Hopefully, guys, when we do all of this, it gives you a nice little throwback to whenever you were in a session or camp with Hanshi. Us. And please, guys, keep doing what you love to do. Us.
Us. Okay, so it's back to me. I'm going to go traditional this time. We're going 3 up, turn, 3 back. Please be aware of the space that we have. Fortunately, we are doing Urakans, so we can keep a lot of the stances fairly short. Some of them will be a bit longer though. Okay, so it'll be nice and easy. I'll take the first count, 3 up, 3 down. Wesley, 3 up, 3 down. Next count, and then X amount of techniques later, we're moving off to Wesley's version. Okay. Oz. Udachi, Maigan Brai. Yay! Hey! Shia! Okay, so we're moving forward. Kokotsudachi, Urakan, Shoman Gamanuch. Okay? Kokotsudachi, Urakan, Shoman Gamanuch. 3 up, turn, 3 down. All of it is by numbers. Okay, at the moment. Ready? Moving forward. H! Ni! San! Hey! H! Ni! San! Hey!
All right. The next will be Sayuchi in Kibadachi. Os. Os. Ready? Ish. Ni. San.
Shia!
Awate.
Shia!
Ish. Ni. San.
Shia!
Awate.
Shia! Urakan Hizo in Kibadachi Mai also. Okay. H! E! San!
Yeah.
Tay!
Yeah.
H! Ni! San!
Yeah.
Tay!
Yeah. Oroshi Gamanuchi. Us. In Zenkutsudachi. Us.
Os!
Coming forward. There we go. Ish. Ni. San.
Shia!
Awate.
Shia!
Ish. Ni. San.
Shia.
Awate.
Shia. Mawashi. Same stance. Zenku Sudachi. Okay. Moving forward. H. Ni. San. Hey.
Here.
H. Ni. San. Hey.
Here. Os. Nihon nukite. Os.
Os.
Senku Sudashi. Same stance. Ready?
Os.
Ish. Ni. San.
Shia.
Awate.
Shia.
Ish. Ni. San.
Shia.
Awate.
Shia. Yohon Nukate Jordan. I'm going to change the stance to Kokotsudachi again. That's Yo Jordan in Kokotsudachi. H. Ni. San. Tay.
Aisha.
H. Ni. San. Tay.
Here. Chudan. Yonhon no kite. Os.
Os.
Stay in the same stance.
Os.
Ready? Ish. Ni. San.
Shia.
Awate.
Shia.
Ish. Ni. San.
Shia.
Awate.
Shia. Seiken Juji Uke Jordan in Zenku Sudachi. Okay? Zenku Sudachi, Juji Uke Jordan. H. Ni. San. Tay.
Here.
H. Ni. San. Tay.
Here. Gedan. Jujiuke. Os.
Os.
Again in Senku Tsudachi.
Os.
Ready? Ish. Ni. San.
Shia.
Awate.
Shia.
Ish. Ni. San.
Shia.
Awate.
Shia. More Shigeri Gidan. High Soku. And we're going to be in Zenku Sudachi still. Okay? So, Karen, you're yay! H. Ni. San. Tay.
Isha.
H. Ni. San. Tay.
Here. Shusoku. Mawashigiri. Os.
Os.
Stay in the same stance. Zenku Tsudachi. Os. Kamai.
Os.
Ish. Ni. San.
Shia.
Awate.
Shia.
Ish. Ni. San.
Shia.
Awate.
Shia. And Setsugeri. Yoko. Okay? Make sure it's Yoko. Unless, of course, you're struggling for space. Then do this whichever way you can. Os. Setsugeri. Big toe up, little toe down. Come and cover. H. In Zenku Sudachi, sorry, still. Ni. San. Tay.
Here.
Here. H. Ni. San. Tay.
Here.
Shia.
Shudan Yokogiri.
Os.
Please still be to the side.
Os.
I, because of my space, need to go Yonshuho. Os.
Os.
And cover. There we go. Ish. Ni. San.
Shia.
Awate.
Shia.
Ni. San. Mawate. Shia.
Harry.
Os.
Push, Yasumi, tighten yourselves up. Get yourself a little drink. Over to Wesley.
Os. Q syllabus. Os. Shotai will be the main focus. Os. Bye-bye. All right, so Shotai is what we're going to do. Now, we're going to be doing, yeah, that's right. I think that's good. Think about when, please.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, distracted. What we're now going to do is we're going to do every technique. We're going to do them 3 times. Sanbon. Os. Os. So this means 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, then 1, 2, 3, and so on. Os. I'll take the first count. Darren, me, Darren, me, Darren, me.
Os.
Reason I go for 3 is especially in the Ushirogiri, there's 3 different types of Ushirogiri. And please, guys, be focused on that. He once said to me, "Oh, stands in front of you, and then, oh, man, you will do it the proper way." All right. So first count by me, Darren, me, Darren, me, Darren, me. Os.
Os.
Yodashi, yoi. Sanshin dachi migi, kamaite. Sure. Ready? There we go. Ish. Ni. San.
Ouch. Ni. San.
Ish. Ni. San.
Ouch. Ni. San.
Ish. 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 Ni. San.
Here.
Shia.
Us. All right. One more time.
Os.
We used to do this. Us. Full sequence on my count. Are we ready?
Os.
Here we go. Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Ruk. Ish. Ash. Gu. Ju. Ish. Ni.
Shia.
And now right. Us. Tidy yourselves up.
Os.
And sit down.
Os. Obviously get yourself a drink if you want. Trousers are coming a little loose, so just give me a moment.
So Sense has left from the dojo. The connection wasn't too good. Thank you, Sense, for being here. Dojo Nintai in Holland. Very much appreciated. Os.
Indeed. Okay, the next one, 4th Q, syllabus. Okay, so what we're going to do is we are going to go 3 up, 3 down, but we are going to change on every single step. Okay? So, shito sugotsuuchi, shito yokogamanuchi, shito uchikomi, shito hizuuchi, yoko, uchi, jordan, uchuke, soto, gedan barai, shito moshuke, yokogiri jordan, moshi, ishirogiri jordan. Each time we step and the turn counts as a movement, we change technique. The alternate arms to go with the alternate legs. Okay? Everybody understand?
Do we want to change the stances, or are we going to be in one stance? Because Hanshi used to change those up as well.
He did as well, but I'll leave it as Zenku Sadachi for now, and then maybe you can do the changing stance on the next one, maybe. You know, it's another option that he had. Okay, everybody understand? IFK people, you're probably well on top of it, but those that aren't IFK, good job, keep up. Okay, is that a message from Sunil? This will probably be my last grade. Okay, no problem. Thank you, Sunil. Thanks, Shia and Sunil, for coming along. I really appreciate it. Awesome. Okay. Fudachi. Maigan and Barai. Yay! Hey! Shia! Okay, so I will go 3 up, 3 down. Then after I've done that, Wesley will take the count for the next 3 up, 3 down, and we will just keep alternating until we've done every technique. Okay, done? All of the stances, Zen Kutsadachi. Changing techniques each step. Ready? Ouch! Ni! San! Shi! Go! Right! Ouch! Ouch! Two! Ju! Ish. Ni. San. Shi. Go. Mawate. Shia. Good. Let's go through that again. I missed out a couple of techniques. Thinking about 10th Q, to be fair. Jordan, Maigan and Brian missed out the Uchi and the Soto. Let's do that again anyway, because it's fairly short and fairly quick to go through. Same count. Ready? Ouch! Ni! San! Shi! Go! What? Ouch! Ouch! Two! Ju! Ish! Ni, San, Shi, Go, Shia, and Nari. Os. Get yourself a quick drink. Be back with Wes.
Os. All right then, guys. I think she and Sonny was leaving. Thank you. Arigato. Os. Right then, guys. So, 3rd Q. Os. So, we're gonna. I'm sorry.
Just saying bye.
Sorry. We're going to be doing the same thing for 3rd Q, but now we're going to change the stances every time, and we're going to do every technique 3 times again. Yeah. So, for instance, we start off with the first hiji in kokotsudachi. That will be my count: 1, 2, 3, all on the right leg forward. Then it's Darren's count for the next technique in whatever stance he likes to use. We just keep going until we're near the end. If we're not at the end of the sequence, we just keep going with the last technique we used until we are back at the end where we started. The people who maybe not have the chance to do this with the big man himself. Thank you. There we go. Yoidashi. Yoi. Zenkutsudachi Gedenbrai. Karateka. The first technique will be in Kokutsudachi. I will count 3 counts. Os.
Os.
Ready, there we go. Eish. Ni. San.
Moving forward, Hijiate Mai in Niko Ashidachi. Same thing, 3 counts all the way through. H. Ni. San.
Now we go for the next in Zenkutsudachi. Os.
Os.
Ish. Ni. San.
Shia. Next one, we're going to be in Kibadachi Yonjugo. Kibadachi Yonjugo, and that's on the turn, don't forget. H. Ni. San.
Again, we go back to Zenkutsudachi for the next technique.
Os.
Hiji. Os. There we go. Ish. Ni. San.
Next technique, we're going to be in Zenkusudachi again. Unorthodox, but we're going to keep in this stance. H. Ni. San.
We go for the next technique into Kokotsudachi.
Os.
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 Ni. San.
Here. On the turn. Zenkusudachi. H. Ni. San.
So we go for the next technique. Get yourself back into Zenkutsudachi. Jodan Kakato Giri. Os. H. Ni. Bring the same back leg back, and done.
Here. Moving forward into Kokotsudachi. Kakategori Chudan. H. Ni. San.
Going forward into Neko Ashidashi. Kakato Gedan. Os. Ish. Ni. San.
Here. On the turn, we're going to be in a fighting stance, Kamadachi. Okay?
Os.
H. Ni. San. Here.
We keep going. 3 into Kamadachi. Os.
Os.
And H. Ni. San.
Here. Same thing. H. Ni. San.
Last one, same thing. Os. H. Ni. San.
Here. The last one, Zenkusudachi on the turn. H. Ni. San. Here. Nari.
Os.
Yasumi.
Drink.
Yourself a drink.
Sensei Darren, in behalf of time, do we need to think about the next thing we would like to do? Although we might not finish the full sequence.
What's the time?
Already 5 past.
Yes. Nobody said they would like to say something yet at the end, so we're just assuming at the moment that doesn't want to happen, and we're okay with that. No pressure, but just to let us know on the time if you do want to say something. We've got a little bit of time left, so what I'm going to do is we're just going to do the next grade, but in the traditional sequence work that he likes to work in. So opposite, we're going to do 1 by numbers, 1 more gore, 1 by numbers. Okay? just conventional sequences like he very much used a lot. Okay, so we're on second cue. So just a quick recap. We're on Hirakens, Hiraken Jordan, Chudan, Oroshi, Mawashi, Haishu Jordan, Haishu Chudan, Age Jordan, Koken Jordan, Chudan, Gedan, Toby Nidan Geri, Toby Maigeri, Toby Maigeri, switch Toby Maigeri. Okay, just like that. First one is by numbers. That's with me. Mogore, final one by numbers. Okay, so it's an even pace for all of it. It's not building on momentum. It's just nice, good, strong basics. Okay, Furudachi, Sanshindachi, Yai! Hey! Shia! Okay, by numbers, Hirakens, second cue. Ready? Need to count. H! Ni! San! Shi! Go! Rek! Aish! Aish! Ke! Chi! H! Ni! San! Shi! Shia!
Here.
Shia!
One by me, Mogore.
Os!
Please keep the same count or the same tempo for the people with the syllabus. Os. We are opened. Ready. Hajime. Os. 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 Us. Us. Shia.
Same thing again. Nice, even count, strong, good techniques. Okay, all the way through Mogore.
Us.
Hey! Us. 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 Us, 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 shia.
Right, one by numbers, by me.
Us.
Ready? Aish, ni, san, shi, go, reku, aish, ash, ku, ju. Aish, ni, san, shi,
shia.
Now ready.
Us. Get yourself a drink. Do we want to move on to what? Hopefully everything is okay with everybody. Enjoying the memories, the different ways Hanshi used to train. Remember, it's only Kion that we're doing today. But look at the variety of ways this man initiated a variety of ways for us to train, to keep us on our toes, to keep us all the time looking for better. And that's what we're looking to do. Oz.
Thank you, Bob, for training extremely hard, trying to show and be the best at the level.
Okay, we have one person who said they would like to share a short memory at the end. So that is good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So I'm going to leave the syllabus right now. Obviously, we still had first cue, Shodan and Nidan left. But, you know, we only have a certain amount of time to do this with each other. We talked about this, Darren and myself, we talked about this, and there was at least one thing, and we're not the only one, because I've seen this on Facebook in Canada. She and Steve and Senpai Michi did the same. I did the same last night in our class, and we're gonna be performing Tensho kata. This was a kata he always used to love to do. So it's a perfect way to just show him the honor. Os, I'd like to go through it on the count without the ibuki at least. So we just do one easy one, and then after that, I'd like to ask you guys to do well the the best one there is, the best one you can perform before we go for probably the last bit to Sensei Darren. So I will talk you guys through this and how we're going to do this. But for the first one, it's just an easy pace, just one count every technique, stuff like that is what we're just going to do. Us. Wait if I get a message right now.
Oh yeah.
Right?
I remember now.
Yeah. Sorry guys, but it's just a little talk through for the next. So 10 shows, one by numbers, easy, one perfect one. Us?
It's the full basic version, yes. The full basic version, not the Kenka version. The Soso. Full version.
One, two, us. That's okay. That's okay.
Yep, no problem. It's not a problem at all, Maria. And thank you, Jeff, also.
Thank you. Well, okay. Musubirachi, Mokso. Tensho.
Sure.
Oi. There we go. Ish. Knee. Go. Rook. Ish. A. Go. Rook. Ish. Ash. Sheer. Ish. Knee. Sun. She. Go. Roku. Ish. Ash. Ku. Aya. Shua. Ish. A. An. A. Go. Rook. Ish. A. An. Yeah. Ish. A. Ish. A. An. A. Go. Wriggle. Ish. Sheer.
Sheer.
And now ready. Yasume. Os. Right. So we walk through this. Os. Now every part up to, well, every part with the ibuki is going to be a count. Next count, one with the ibuki, next count. One with the ibuki, next count. One with the ibuki, next count. Os.
Os.
But you did.
I know.
Yeah, that's okay. that you do have something on your mind. Yeah. So hopefully everything is clear, and I'd like to do this together with Sensei Darren. So this means my count, his count, my count, his count. Yeah. So to do this properly, this is the first count. This is the second count. So we go all in the right way, in the right flow. So
each count is 2 in a bookie, right?
Each count is 2 in ibuki. Yeah. 2 in ibuki. Okay. Is everybody okay with this? This is my last bit for this session. Please, guys, although we can't hear you, best ibuki, best tensho kata you've ever performed. Here we go. Yoi dashi. Joy. Musubidachi. So. Tensho. Yoi. Ish. E. Sun. She. Go. Rock. Ish. Ish. Hey. Two. Hey. Knee. She. Hey. Ish. Hey. Sun. Hey. Ish. Hey. Now ready? Os. Come on. Thank you.
Get yourselves a little drink if you would like. Just going to finish off like we did a couple of weeks ago with some true down skis. Okay, so if you could unmute yourselves, it'd be really nice to hear everybody's ki on this last bit. We might need to ask you to unmute, to be fair. Would help. No problem. Okay, great. No problem, Mitzi. Let's see how it goes. We understand. It's very trying time for everybody. So
I apologize, but I have. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it.
Darren, have you seen the direct message I sent you?
No. No, let's do it afterwards.
Okay.
Yeah, otherwise the sound will be confusing. Sorry. Again. Just trying to iron out some details. So we're going to be doing shoot down skis. Let's put us all on maybe the gallery view so we can see all of us for this last bit. Let's go through the screens, shall we? So we've got myself, Sensei Wesley, Shien Jeff, Christopher, Maria, Rebecca, Senpai Mitzi, John. I think it's Sensei Florian, I think. Sorry if it is a Sensei Florian. Can you take your mic off so you can count? Maximilian, Sensei Damon Collins, Sensei Jackie, Chris Nielsen, Louise isn't there, and neither's Mika. So we'll ignore them. But if we could go in that order on the counts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. We'll go for me, 14, and Wes finish 15. Chudan skis. Only Chudan skis.
Sorry, I try to put everyone on spotlight, but I'm gonna remove all spotlights. So we just see the one who's counting, hopefully, on there. Us?
Okay, a couple of you need to unmute if you're gonna count. Christopher, that would be you, and Jackie, that would be you. Please. Otherwise, we're not going to finish your turn.
Who did you say I was after?
You are after Damon.
I was going to ask the same thing.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, so it is.
The screen keeps changing, so I don't know who am I.
It's just changed for me as well. No worries, Louise. That's fine. So the order is me, Wesley, Jeff, Mitzi, Chris. That's Chris Nicholson, Christopher Macaulay, Maria, Rebecca, John, Maximilian, Florian, Damon, Jackie. Then it will be me and then Wes to make 15. Everybody understand? Damon, you're looking for number 12. Okay, excellent. Jackie, you're number 13. Okay, everybody understand? Yep, just Chudan skis. Nice, good ki. Okay, right. So let's make a start on this. Yoridachi. Sanshindachi. Yoi! Okay! Shooter!
Yeah!
Chudan ski. Okay, remember, right hand back. And everybody remember their numbers. Okay, ready? Last bit. Ki for Hanshi!
Yeah!
Hansh! E! An! D! L! Rack! Ash! Ash! L! D! Ash! E! Done! E! Go! Look! Ash! Ash! Two! Here! Here!
H! Go!
Meeting now.
She.
Chris, it's you now.
Ish. Me. Son. She. Go. Rook. Fish. Ash. Two. Two.
H! Lee! Sam! Go! Mitch!
Maria.
Sun. G. Go. Rook. Teach. Hutch. You. You.
Pitch.
Hey.
Hey. Done. Kick. Go. Rook. Pitch. Touch. Hit. Two. Hey. Go. Pitch.
Push, Yasumi. Tidy yourselves up. Get yourself a little drink whilst we finish off, basically.
Us. Thanks, guys.
Well done. Let's
I'd say,
everybody. Let's mute everybody for the second.
yeah.
Wes, unmute. You're not unmuting.
Am I unmuted now?
You are indeed. Us.
All right. So we started off with a Caesar where we had the screen where we had Hanshi's fit playing. Let's end the session with the same thing. So we will be sitting in Caesar. We will play the same video the Russian Federation posted up, and then instead of stretching, we just take some time for people to say something. We will unmute the person who wants to say something and spotlight him or her. So in respect of this person, everybody will be silent for this.
Awesome.
I will now share my screen in one short bit.
Everybody, Cesar, push.
Hopefully everybody can see this. Hanshi, Rei, Os. And tate kudasai.
Os.
Os.
Okay, and that is that. To be fair, thank you everybody for everything, for your time, your support, your enthusiasm, your loyalty, your patience. We're not the easiest people to deal with sometimes, but hopefully we all shared a beautiful moment today in memory of a great man. And I'd just like to thank you from the bottom of my heart. It means a lot.
Yeah, I can only say the same thing, and I think we showed how big of a family we are, and we all have to thank this to one person only, and that is Hanshi Steve Arneil.
Awesome.
So thanks all. Please, guys, honor his message, honor his memories, his all the things he's been through to create where we are right now, and just honor him, because we have been big witnesses of a part of history, a legendary person, of which there was only one. Thank you, and I think it's now time to give everybody who would like to say something a stage. If you have to leave, feel free. If not, please stay to share some beautiful moments. If you don't have to share a beautiful moment, just listen to the many beautiful moments there were. Do we want to start, Jeff?
Yeah, let's start. John was first on the list, so John.
I'm sorry. Yeah, John.
Let's move first, and then we can work through the list and make sure we don't miss anyone. Let's hold on. Wait there a second, John. Let's add you to the spotlight so you can say your piece. Off you go.
Yeah, well, first of all, thank you, Wes and Darren, for arranging this class. I can appreciate how difficult it was for you, especially at the beginning. It's really, really appreciated to have an opportunity to come together. So thank you. My memory, it was the first time I trained under him. It was at one of these AGMs where you turned up before the meeting, you had a session. I'd never met him before. I was a low grade and in the lineup, and he was in a particularly fierce mood that day. He was particularly shouting at the higher grades, and really, and he was, quite intimidating. And not a big man, but he had a huge presence. And then we did this thing where you had to go up once, back once, up twice, back once, up three. And I was just completely lost. And I was going backwards when people were going forwards and thinking, God, this is a catastrophe. Eventually, I got it right. And when I got up to the top, just before Mawate, he was walking and he walked up and down the line. And he had a very stern look on his face. And when he went past me, his face broke into this amazing smile and he winked at me as if to say, at last, well done. And honestly, my heart soared. It was amazing. It's so encouraging. And I trained with him a few times at Wimbledon, and he was always the same. Beneath this quite strict exterior was this real humanity and compassion, which is what I will always remember. So that's one of many memories of him. That's one I'd like to share with you. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, John. Appreciate it. Put you back on mute now, and we will remove your spotlight. So next on the list is Shian Jeff Wybra. So if you can take yourself off mute, please. And we have spotlighted you. So
is that?
Awesome. Yep, excellent. Awesome.
Okay, I had a thought of a memory from Hanshi, which are many, but this just is going to describe one facet of his character.
Awesome.
He was at it must have been a European, it's in Europe, it was a European, either a tournament, a meeting or something, but all the officials, all the, everybody in Kyokushin, they was all there, like the high grades and everything. And I'm going to name names in this story, so the culprits are going to get caught. And so it was a reception at the end. It was the party, everything was over, it was a reception. And two French guys, Terry Knowins, you probably know him, and his friend, another Terry. So the party's going on, this reception is going, and they've got two pea shooters with these little rubber pellets, and they're firing these pellets at the official, the necks of anybody, and then the official will get hit in the neck and turn around and who's doing it? What's this? What's going on? You know, I even got involved and I said, "Oh, let me have a go." You know, and we was doing it to the high grades, and you know, we got away with it for about 5 or 10 minutes. And guess who caught us? The man with the eyes in the back of his head, Hanshi.
Awesome. And
he came over, and we were sitting in this booth and just sort of like spitting these rubber pellets at people. So as we saw him coming over, and we thought, oh, cracky, we're in for it now, you know. So he came right over to us, come straight up, and he went, gimme, let me have a go. And he sat down with us, and he started doing the same thing. And it was just hilarious, you know, to see him like a little child with a pea, and then he was waiting for the right moment. Then he spit his pea, and then he'd drop his head down or pretend to be talking. And it was so funny. I'll never forget it. But I'm sure a lot of you have seen that part of his character, you know. You can have a really good laugh in the most, you know, and this was like, you know, it was supposed to be a formal reception for the tournament or whatever it was. I just thought I'd like to share that with you anyway, because it was fun.
Thank you, guys. Come on. Let's remove. Next is Maria. If I can find her, let's ask you to unmute and add you on the spotlight.
Oof. When I meet Hanshi for first time, I thought that this great man, he was great karateka and man with big heart. I didn't lift any camp with him. I was 11 camp with him in Poland and one in England. And I know it's very, very big teacher for all. When he come the airport, asked me, are you fit? Are you fit? And I feel very, very strong with him. And Hanshi, thank you very much. This is very, very big pleasure for me train with you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Maria. Awesome. Who is next on the list? I think it is Mitzi, if she is up to it. Let's remove the spotlight here. Where is Mitzi? All right, spotlight.
What's everyone? I'm going to try my best. If I start crying, please forgive me. First of all, thank you, senseis, for this class. I was debating to join or not, but I felt like I have to enhance his memory. Like most of us, I want to share the first memory I have with Hanshi, and that was in 2007. I used to live in the United States with Steve, she and Steve, and we were going for Rochester, New York for a grading. He was going for his third dan, and I was going for my fifth Q. And we drove all the way from Denver, Colorado to Rochester, New York, which took us over 36 hours of driving. We had just very, very little time to sleep in a parking lot, rest area. Anyways, we got there on a Thursday night. It was 6 o'clock-ish, and 7 o'clock, the training started. One of the senseis from the Rochester, New York dojo took us to the training hall. And I remember starting the training from 7 o'clock in the evening, and it lasted till 10:30-ish at night. That was my very first training with Hanshi after that long trip. I remember being close to falling off our feet, but the biggest hit that both me and Steve got was the IFK syllabus. We were recently joined in the IFK just probably a year before that, but we have never trained the IFK syllabus. It was a shock to us. We had no idea what we're doing. Steve was higher grade. He was able to pick it up a little bit earlier, but he was in the front testing for third dan. So he had a huge pressure in for him. But I remember I was hitting myself with the right and left hand all over the place because I had no idea what I was doing. And I was testing, right? So this went on Thursday night, Friday, Saturday, until the sessions concluded on Sunday. And by the time we got to the final session on Sunday, we finally got it. I remember staying up. We slept in one of the sensei's dojos over there, and we stayed up late at night practicing like 12 a.m., 12:30 a.m. in front of the mirror and trying to get that IFK syllabus because it was something that threw us off so much. But we did it. And in the end, at the session on Sunday, that when the awarding happened, Steve got his awarding all that. But then I remember staying in lineup with just a couple of other grades, my level. And Hanshi came to me, shook my hand, and he said, "You were a bit nervous, weren't you?" And I said, "Yes, Hanshi, I was." And I think I started kind of almost like being a little bit emotional. And then I realized that, he told me that I graded, but it was one of those moments that I thought I for sure will fail because I made so many mistakes. And in the end, we went home and we were all happy. Everybody was graded and we learned the syllabus too. And since then we're learning it and perfecting it and all that. So that was my first meeting. There were a couple in between, some dinners, some sayonara parties, where I got to see his other sides to dancing, partying. I remember one of them, it was, I believe, in Switzerland. It was crazy. It was so nice to see that side of him too. But I want to say again, another thank you for you two senseis for allowing me to see him one last time.
What?
On your KRT session. Us. Thank you.
Thank you, Miti. Sorry, hold on a sec. Damon, if you can unmute yourself. Thanks.
That was very. I was trying to take a deep breath. That was very emotional and meaningful. My story comes to mind actually is, I think anyone who's ever got a black belt will remember their showdown grading. And I'd only met on my showdown grading. I only met Hanshi probably twice before, because he used to do he used to do the second Q and the first Q gradings. All my other gradings were done by Xion Jeff at Thames, but from second and first, Hanshi took them. So I'd met him twice. I'd done two gradings with a whole load of black belts, two proper big gradings. But this one was when I was 20, and we was down in Cardiff, I think it was, down in Wales, and it was the biggest, probably the biggest session I'd ever been. It was like 50 people, and it started well. It was sort of okay. It started well, and then it was something weird happened, which was the sort of some of the key eyes started getting quieter, and people just almost, it was tough. It was a really tough grading, but I didn't notice this until what happened at the end happened. He basically finished the grading, and to all the 50 people, he said, "You've all failed. Not a single person has passed this grading." And I was like, oh my God, I couldn't have trained hard. I'd certainly trained so hard for it for months and months and months. I was very, very fit, knew everything. He said, there was no spirit. There was no spirit. I'm not going to pass you. There was no spirit. And I was like, oh. And it, not only did it take me a while to get over that, but also it took me a while to understand. And then I had to admit, you know, he was right. It was sort of the energy. I realized that the energy, I could feel the energy going down, and I was at fault because I was basically allowing myself to follow everyone else. And it was a really amazing lesson. It taught me so much in life, and certainly so much in karate, which is don't care about what they're doing in front of you or behind you. In anything, in life, certainly not in karate, do your thing, do it the way as best as you possibly can, and ignore everything else but what you're doing. Be incredibly single-minded and just try as hard as you possibly can. So anyone who trains with me knows, and I can hardly speak because of kiaing last night, I shout very, very loudly now because basically the kiai was rubbish that day. So yeah, that's it's a story, I suppose, of my failure, but also so it's his, you know, he really had high standards. This was a while ago, but he had high standards. So basically every grade I got after that, the 3 grades I got after that meant a lot because I realized sort of he doesn't give them away lightly. So, and he taught me a lot, and I'm sure everyone else, you know, anyone who's ever got a black belt deserves it. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Damon.
Yes.
So both Darren and myself will share one more story. We can do this, honestly, we can do this for days because there's so many stories. And there's a lot of emotions at the moment. And I like to think back to Hanshi on all the crazy and the funny things he did, because I grew up in a very strict karate environment, like, well, a lot of people do, because back when it all started, it was very strict. A black belt didn't talk to anyone else but other black belts. You just had to shut your mouth and say us and do everything you did, or what they asked you to do. And then I met Hanshi. I was a small boy. I had a big mouth. Found something of myself. I thought I was, you know, the best thing since sliced bread. And then I met him, and he got that infectious smile, which a lot of people have been talking about already on the internet. And especially when you met him outside of a session, or on camps, or maybe when you train at his dojo, or when you just saw him in person, then you really saw the huge personality he had. And I'm going to share one story of the BKK summer camp I always used to go to. And it was Darren, myself, Sensei Anil, a few other friends who we always used to hang out with as the wolf pack, the group of extremely fit guys who tried to show off to everyone else. And then there was this morning, just before the morning session, we all stood up. We had rooms very close to each other. Always kind of found our partners in crime at that camp. And then we were all brushing our teeth in the bathroom, and the bathroom had both showers and toilets in there. And then this little funny old man was laughing at our stories. And then while taking a poo, he opened the door and sat there talking to us as the most normal man the planet has ever seen. And he just, you know, he just didn't care. He was just sitting there on the toilet with his trousers on his ankles, and he was just sharing stories with us. And I think we nearly got too late at the session because he was just sharing funny stories with us while he was taking a crap. And I'd like to, besides all of the fantastic karate things he did, and the emotions he brought up to all the people, I'd like to remember this person as well, because this person, because of the crazy, as I'm talking about this, I'm getting tears in my eyes and smiling because of this memory, and that's how I think we all should remember our karate father, our Hanshi. that he was going to push you through hell, but he was going to make you smile doing it. Thank you.
Yeah, he's a unique character, that's for sure. So I'm going to share quickly, my very first session was down at Crystal Palace. I grew up in South London, start off with. Clearly I was a very, very tiny boy. I didn't grow much, to be fair. And I remember going down to Crystal Palace, and there was like a waiting list back then that you had to wait. I'd asked my parents to go to karate, and I never knew the reason why I wanted to go, but I eventually went. And there was hundreds and hundreds of people in the class back then. Like it was Crystal Palace, and my first lesson was what was the name of the hall has changed from the cricket hall to the boxing hall to the gymnasium, but basically it was the room right down the back at the bottom, and it was loads and loads of people. Bearing in mind there was high grades, there were just bundles of people there, and there was me, a brand new beginner, in my tracksuit trousers or my t-shirt or whatever it is we all turned up in. And he could have taken any bit of the class that he wanted, to be fair, but he came and did the beginners. So he came and taught the beginners. My very first session was with Hanshi Steve Arnell, and at that moment in time I didn't really realise or know who he was. My father did, and my father's friends did, because they knew of Kyokushin and had friends that did it. So it was it's very touching that I have been with him from the start to the very end of my career so far. So I'm very, very grateful for that. And the other story I want to share is when I went to Canada with him, just briefly. So I went to Canada with him for the first time I fought knockdown in Quebec. So unfortunately it's on the other side to Mitzi and she and Steve. But yeah, a few months before he went, or I don't know, four months before he went, he was like, I'm going to Canada to teach in this, teach around, and then there's a tournament at the end, like, do you want to come with me and fight? And you'll be like the first one to fight knockdown as a cadet. He's like, you're kind of a guinea pig. And I was like, guinea pig doesn't sound great, but yeah, I'll do it. So I agreed, and obviously, as anyone who's ever fought knockdown, when you start training for knockdown, you think you're okay, you think you're fit, you think you're kind of getting there. And I was doing lots of running and lots of this and lots of that. Anyway, I went over there with Hanshi, and I shared a room with him, and I had this little put-up bed at the side where he had this massive double bed to himself. And I was really fortunate because I got to travel around a lot of dojos in Quebec with him, training a lot of places. And everybody would look at me and go, is he really fighting? Because he's like this big. And he was like, yeah, he's okay, don't worry, you'll be all right. And then as soon as I start training, people were like, his technique's okay, does he want to maybe do the kata as well? So it's like, yeah, sure, why not? After some debate, me and Hanshi talking it over, he's like, look, you came to fight, but if you want to do the kata as well, that's fine. I said, yeah, why not? Let's do both, while we're here, might as well make the most of it. So I did the kata, and at the beginning of the day, Hanshi goes, do you want me to coach you? And I was like, well, yeah, that would kind of be great, because I'm here on my own. I have kind of no idea what I'm doing, really. I know karate a little bit, but So and she went, okay. He goes, I'll go and ask if it's okay. Bearing in mind, this is the head of the organization, the IFK, the head, the president. He doesn't really need to ask, but he had the humility and the respect to go up to Shian Daniel, who was in charge of the IFK back then in Canada, and said, look, he's all on his own. Is it okay if I coach him, because it's his first time? He's all here on his own. Shian Daniel obviously said yes. It's fine. So yeah, there I am. I'm warming up. He's like, yeah, do some push-ups, do some sit-ups. How'd you feel? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I feel okay. Went on the mat. It was with head guards because I was 17 at the time. Started fighting, bish bash bosh, and then I won the first fight, and then I eventually came second in the tournament. I only had 2 fights, but halfway through the first fight, bearing in mind, in the middle of the fight, there's multiple things going on in your mind, and one of them is like, where am I getting my next breath from? So, it's like, yummy, like a little scuffle or whatever. I turn around, walk back, tidy my gear, and there's Hanshi sitting there, calm as face. He goes, it's tough, isn't it? And there's me absolutely gasping for air, thinking, am I going to make it through the end of this fight or not? My first attempt, and he's there going, yeah, it's tough, isn't it? Like it's, yeah, I told you. So there's two elements in there, as Wesley says, there's the humor to absolutely break me halfway through a fight when I've no idea whether I'm going to make it through at this point in time. And then the second was the absolute humility and respect, even as the president of our organization, to ask the permission, not tell, not force, but ask. If Daniel had said no, Hanshi would have turned around and he would have said, Us, I'm sorry, Darren, I can't coach you. But as it happens, I had the great pleasure for Hanshi to coach me. We came second. I won the kata. It wasn't about me in that event. It was about Hanshi. And as always, great humor, great respect, great humility, and a great man. I think Maximilian has just said he wants to share a photo. Okay, go ahead. You should be able to share your screen. Actually, someone sent me a picture recently of me and Hanshi actually in Canada.
Yeah, you showed that.
He's just
sharing it in the chat, guys. Thank you, Maximilian. Click to download.
Are you able to share that, Wes? Or
Yeah. That's awesome. I will share it with you guys as I opened it. Do you do you have a story with this, Maximilian? You'd like to share with me? I can't see you now, to be honest.
No, me neither.
Oh. That's a lovely picture, though.
I think that's one of the World Tournament towels from 87 or 84, actually. Look at me, I'm a karate geek. I know that, only because I have one of them.
Maximilian, I unmuted you. Can you maybe share the story of this picture, if you'd like to?
Sure thing. Well, this is the time when I returned back to Europe. So that was around the 80s, like 84, 85 or something. There was no IFK back then, of course. There was just Europe and the UK. And there was a boot camp in Switzerland when I got back home. And of course, that was being held by the Swiss Federation. And of course, in the evenings after hard trainings, we used to do a lot of jokes and games. And there's one of those games, actually. So basically, you put stuff in a plate. So you have to just, of course, as you can see his eyes, it's just like he's like totally blinded. So you have to kind of reach into and feel and check out what it possibly is. So we do a lot of pranks. What could it be? So now, I don't even remember what it was exactly, but so you had to reach to the wet plate and figure out what it was. And I believe there were some cornflakes or something. I don't even know anymore. But it's just, I found this picture and I found it very cool. So I thought I'd share this with you.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. And this is what
you can have it actually. I got way more of these, but
please share them with us. Do you have the email address? Because there's in all fairness, there's not enough pictures of him. So if you'd like to share through the KRT email address, then we would be very, very happy to get them.
Yeah, definitely. I will do so. No problem.
Thank you. Right then.
I think that's probably it. I don't think anybody else wants to share anything else. And like Wesley said, we could probably go on all night, but we have to draw a line in the sand somewhere. Wesley, anything to say?
No, just again, I think this is what his remembrance is all about. This is the way we can still keep him alive in our minds and in spirit. to keep talking about him, to keep sharing memories about him, to keep in mind all the fantastic things he did for us, to put on your gi and make every little thing you do perfect as you can. With that in mind, I think it's time to close off. Take your time to grieve, because for all of us this is a very hard time. But I think the best way to do this morning is in our karate gi and show him the respect he most definitely deserves. Thank you all.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. It's been a pleasure, and we will be in touch soon. But you guys take care of yourselves. Oz. You can unmute yourselves now. Just before we go, domo arigatou gozaimashita. Oz, thank you very much. Huge pleasure. Oz.
Take care, guys.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks, Damon. Oz. Domo. Thanks, Rebecca. Cheers, Louise. I know you can't say anything, but I can see. Thanks, Rebecca. Oz.
Thank you. Have a good evening.
Yeah, likewise, Chris. Thanks a lot.
Thank you very much. We'll see you at the next session. Thank you. Us.
You're very welcome. Thanks, John. Oz.
Oz, everyone. Thank you, senseis, for the session.
Bye.
Thanks, Michi. Well done. Can't hear you, Jackie. You're on mute.
We're saying bye.
It's just done it. Thank you so much. Yeah, I got a bit in a flap at the beginning. I kept putting in the wrong code. I didn't look at the bottom of the email. I just kept putting the top.
To be fair,
one.
I sent out the wrong link as well with the wrong time, and then when I went to log in, it expired. Luckily, I was in early today, and I managed to send out the link.
I kind of thought, what's happening? I'm going to miss it all. So thank you very much. It was a great session. It was really well, and just a bit too emotional to say anything. It's a very sad day. Bye-bye. Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Florian. Appreciate your support.